Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you're having a very wonderful day. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. The channel highly appreciated as myself. Now, Bitcoin, Blackrock Bitcoin ETF. Is there any major update? Actually, yes. You're starting to have, now this is the next steps towards the approval. You're starting to have former SEC chairman talking kind of positively about the Bitcoin ETF. And basically, these are the conditions that the ETF needs to follow to make sure it goes through. And this is what can be done. And actually, it's possible to do this. And it's actually possible to do that. So this is the next step, is to put pundits on media to basically put in the mind of people that the ETF is very good. So when the approval comes, nobody gets really shocked. Notice that they never discuss all the other 55 ones that were rejected, and all of a sudden the big Blackrock, the very government friendly, comes in, and all of a sudden we seem to be the sun starts to shine a little bit in the middle of those dark clouds that you always use to refute any kind of these proposals. And now you need to understand how they manipulate the audience. Now is the former SEC chairman. Maybe it's going to be a chief economist of some place is going to say something similar. Then a formal advisor to the SEC or to the government or whatever is also going to say something. And then that guy is going to say something. And all of a sudden, you start to hear everywhere positive things about the ETF and basically what it needs to be followed in order to be approved. So we start to not discuss the approval or rejection. We start to discuss in which way the approval is going to be made. See what I mean? So it's a little bit like, we are not deciding if we're going to go out for dinner. We are deciding what we're going to eat. See what I mean? So this is typically the little subliminal steps that you take in order to get to your final destination. Now, what I think about how can this impact the cycle? Look, I do think we are in this frustrating consolidation. Look, believe me too, I also hate it. It's like watching paint dry. But we know how it goes. It's always like this in the previous seasons. But there's something actually quite different happening this time around, which is some of the altcoins are start to move before Bitcoin. So it's a bit like, so I can tell that this cycle is changing a bit. Because it's no longer everyone piles in on Bitcoin and then they go into Ethereum and then they go to altcoins. What they're saying is, I don't want to buy a $30,000 coin and I know that this goes like this. Let me go straight to the altcoins and I position myself for the altcoin season before it happens. So this is why you see a lot of alts moving while Bitcoin is fairly flat. Very interesting. Is it just a blip? Is it just a short-term thing that's going to go away? To be seen. I don't know. But indeed, it's actually quite different than it used to be. Now, by the way, I'm not sure if you're all aware of this. There are already Bitcoin ETFs, but outside the US. Okay, so this one marks basically the okay of the SEC around Bitcoin, and then we can move forward to the other ones. And I do feel that by the end of the cycle, there's going to be some rumors about Ethereum ETF. We'll see if I'm right or not. But the point is, BlackRock will be the first one, and others will follow. BlackRock opens the doors, and the horses follow. Now, I just wanted to point out that indeed the approval seems more likely every day. Is it guaranteed? Of course not. How can I guarantee something like that? I do think it's increasingly more probable, and it's just funny how these things always get these pundits coming here and there to give you little crumbs to basically manipulate your mind into acceptance of something that, 2 months ago was considered impossible. Now we are discussing the conditions of approval. We are not even talking about approval anymore, it's just the conditions of it. And this is how they condition you, sorry for the no pun intended, into being comfortable with the idea that this is coming, okay? Just a little trickery that I wanted to highlight, because it's one thing is when I speak about these things from an historical perspective, the other thing is when you see it happen live, it always has a different impact, okay? So thank you very much, guys, and I will catch you in the next one.